Don't miss the Green and Growing Show in the noon to 9 p.m. hours on Eagle TV. Ellis County Horticulture Agent Holly Dickman will identify common lawn and garden issues while providing up-to-date information. Watch weekdays in the noon to 9 p.m. hours on Channel 14 or 614. Green and Growing, brought to you by Riedel's Garden Center, a full-service garden center west of Hayes on Highway 40, and Eagle TV.
With our current weather conditions, it takes a real expert to create landscape that'll thrive. Riedel's Garden Center has the staff with the expertise of water requirements for plants, lawns, and landscapes that'll stand up to our changing weather conditions. With 25 years of hands-on experience, owner Darren Riedel will customize a landscape design and irrigation system to meet your expectations and our climate. It's recommended to protect your lawn using Fertilome products available at Riedel's Garden Center, an authorized dealer. Call or stop by Riedel's Garden Center today.
Well, the weather is certainly unpredictable this time of year, and we've had, unfortunately, quite a bit of storm damage around the area. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about what you should do, or what you should at least think about or consider if you have trees in your landscape that have been damaged by storms. We're standing here at the Ag Research Center where, you know, there's a smaller sized tree behind me, but it's had a significant amount of storm damage to it. And so one of the first things you want to do is assess the situation. You know, is it safe for you to be around that tree? Now, a smaller tree like this, yeah, probably so. But if you have really large trees with large limbs that are hanging, maybe some power lines involved, that's really a situation where you really need to be cautious and probably need to hire a person that is certified to do that sort of work or has more experience doing that sort of work before you try to tackle that yourself. When you have storm damage on trees, unfortunately you didn't make those pruning cuts, Mother Nature did, and so sometimes it does a lot of damage to the main trunk. It does a lot of damage to some of those larger limbs, and with that sort of thing, there's not a lot that you can do. Now with this tree behind me here, you know, there's still a great deal of the canopy there, and usually we will say if it's, you know, removed or broken off more than 50% of that tree's canopy, then that tree likely will not survive and should be removed. Now, sometimes the tree damage is such that it just damages the aesthetic appeal or the look of that tree, and so that's a personal decision. Do you want to keep that tree and see what happens, or do you want to go ahead and remove it and think about replanting in the fall? Now, with this tree behind me, it was a very significant limb that broke off. Didn't take off 50% of the canopy, but as you can see, it took off a big chunk of that main trunk. And so that's also a sign that that's going to be really hard for that tree to heal over. Now, I know a lot of people will leave that sort of tree standing, and that's fine, but just be aware that trees with wounds like that can be more prone to other things. So borer damage, disease issues, some of those sorts of things can start to set in on that wound and cause problems. I always get the question, should we paint those wounds with anything, or should we seal those up? Research has shown that that is not recommended anymore. It is shown that that can actually hinder the tree's ability to put scar tissue back over that wound, and so we don't recommend that you treat the wounds with anything. You just want to let Mother Nature take its course. If you have a piece on the tree that's real jagged, or maybe you have some loose bark that's just hanging there, you can go ahead and maybe cut that and kind of clean up the wound, but we don't want you to seal it or prune it, or not prune it, paint it with any sort of wound sealer or anything like that. Just let Mother Nature take its course. If you're not sure, if you have questions about your trees in your landscape, there is a Tree Care After Storms publication that the Kansas Forest Service has available. If you go to our website, the Ellis County Extension website, or if you follow us on Facebook, you can easily find the link to this publication. If you can't find it, if you Google Tree Care After Storms, Kansas Forest Service, you'll probably come up with it that way too. But please don't hesitate to call the local extension office if you have questions about your trees, especially after they've been damaged by the significant storm we've had go through the area in recent days. If you have questions, contact your local extension office. And reporting for K-State Research and Extension and Eagle TV, I'm Holly Dickman, Ellis County Horticulture Extension Agent.
Don't miss the Green and Growing Show in the noon to 9 p.m. hours on Eagle TV. Ellis County Horticulture Agent Holly Dickman will identify common lawn and garden issues while providing up-to-date information. Watch weekdays in the noon to 9 p.m. hours on Channel 14 or 614. Green and Growing, brought to you by Riedel's Garden Center, a full-service garden center west of Hayes on Highway 40, and Eagle TV.
With our current weather conditions, it takes a real expert to create landscape that'll thrive. Riedel's Garden Center has the staff with the expertise of water requirements for plants, lawns, and landscapes that'll stand up to our changing weather conditions. With 25 years of hands-on experience, owner Darren Riedel will customize a landscape design and irrigation system to meet your expectations and our climate. It's recommended to protect your lawn using Fertilome products available at Riedel's Garden Center, an authorized dealer. Call or stop by Riedel's Garden Center today.